Hey guys, a little update on the fake twins. Just a little remember each time. And here on the left you have some discus tank South America, and here on the right this is a more Tropheus oriented tank from Tanganyika Lake, and the water are quite different. But the point of today is this is just to share with you one more time quite a high-tech element of fish keeping that I activated again and upgraded. This time hopefully it will last longer compared to the previous attempt. And by the way, you can see already a little bit the effect of the system in question. On the right by the Tropheus, it's working since 2 weeks, and here I just did activate it today, and this is already doing some effect. But if you see, alors, this is slightly different. You see the coloration, this is more blue oriented, like water, fresh water change tone. And here, especially with the driftwood, this is a little bit yellowish water. And this is normal, getting old water with the Tropheus. Even if there's no wood element releasing any tannin, for example, with water aging, you get this slightly yellow coloration. Something that bothers me, I really like sometimes in nature. You are lucky and you can enjoy some very crystalline, beautiful, white, bluish water. And this is something that you can get with the system running in this tank that I show you right now. So this is Ozone Reactor. This is this guy here, and in fact it's related. I had already in the past the old version and Aquamedic, a brand that I really like, released a few months ago a new version of the ozone generator. The name is I guess ozone. Ozone, this is O3. This is oxygen, quite oxidative, not species but element, I would say. And the particularity of this oxidative element in the water, this is all the material related to coloration of the water is degraded, and you can give a try in. We used to say a glass of wine, for example, will turn very crystalline water in few hours. This is a test I never done, but this is something that I do believe without any issue. So by the way, as usual, the Aquamedic system is also turning a little bit more accessible compared to the older version. Since the one that I bought, one for each tank, this is something under 150 euro, more 110, 120 euro. And I started on the Tropheus with this guy, the 250 milligram O3 generated per hour. And in fact, as you can see, this is in fresh water up to 3000 liters. So this is 6 times more or less our tanks. So it is way too high or performant ozone generation. Even if with this new version you have some little button in order to decrease over 10 different levels ozone production. If you do this way with 10 level, in fact you are still way too much, meaning that the first level, this is more or less the recommendation for our tank. The first level 25 this is a recommendation for our tank in fresh water. So when you are stuck to the first level, you are already the normal, you can double, but other than that, it will be way too high production of ozone for your tank to handle properly. So I turn for both tank to 90 and 90, so 1/10 of 90 is 9, meaning that right now they are running at level 3, both of them. in order to have the 25 milligram ozone per hour. And as you can see, this is already rated at the maximum for something when you are putting it on level 10, then you are 3 times more than the level 3, and you are at 1500 liter. This is a recommendation of Aquamedic. So by the way, the fact is, when you are using ozone, and this is what a lot of pond with koi, for example, or saltwater fish keeping, they're used to when they put ozone, this is a real help in water quality, not just transparency. Even its transparency is already very helpful for corals, because they can catch a lot of way better the lightning, and in fact you get some nice coloration of your corals thanks to ozone. But you are not using ozone in saltwater the same way than in fresh water, in fact. Meaning that in saltwater you have a skimmer, and most of the time you inject the ozone directly in the skimmer. In all of them, the question is, how do you neutralize the ozone once it did its job in contact of the water? If you put back the water with the ozone in your system, then you will have ORP, oxidative oxyredox potential whatsoever. This is a kind of aggressivity level of your water. And if you inject back in the water such aggressivity level, it will attack the algae, the bacteria, and also the other livestock, like your fish, in a not so harmful way. You really need to inject a lot if you want to lose. But one of the solutions to be safer whatsoever, this is simple system where you can connect ozone reactor and just after that UV sterilizer. Because in fact the UV, and I tested it, are neutralizing the O3 in the water. So when you are measuring your ORP without the UV, you turn off your UV bulb, for example, you get 400 of ORP. And as soon as you turn the UV on, in fact, you get back to 20 or 30. So this is a huge difference. And saltwater fish keepers, they know it as well. And in fact, the pond koi fish keeper as well used to combine both of them. It's just that in freshwater fish keeping, we don't use this technique, and we don't have an easy way to set it up this way. So how is it working? It's quite easy. You have an air pump over there. You have here a divider of the air pump where I can decide exactly how much of the air I inject in this little guy. This is the ozone generator. You don't have a more basic system. In the electronic aspect, I have no idea, but the old version, I open it, and in terms of generation of ozone, this is just a plate, metal plate, and in contact with air, the air is put here, O3 is generating from the O2. So one more time, this is capable of 90 milligram of O3 per hour. And as you can see, the tubing is not the same. Here this is normal air tubing because it is inoffensive. And here it's already aggressive, so it's a double layer reinforced tubing in order to bring the ozone here. After that, you have one of our filter secondary flow is simply put in this reactor, where you have a contact chamber between the ozone and the water with some kind of little black noodles or balls, spheres, okay? And the point is, as soon as the water comes here, and also the air, because you are injecting air with ozone, so if you turn off the UV, you get the air. This is what you can hear. I will show you in a few moments on the outtake of the reactor. Times to times you see this air bubble. In fact, they spend a little bit time here, meaning that this is not horizontal, this is slightly like this, you see? to maintain the air bucket here for the UV to neutralize the ozone. And times to times you have back on your system water and air with an ORP acceptable. And just this contact, as soon as you set it up, you don't have to maintain anything because this is just air that you already pump for aeration of your tank. Hop. I show you here, you see, up. Times to times you have a little part of air, otherwise this is water. I have to put back some water in this sump, the water level is low. But that's all, in fact. And you can get even better water quality, transparency, yes, but sterilized, less algae. Since 2 weeks, the observation that I can share with you, this is on the rocks. I can see that some algae are disappearing slightly. So I know fish keepers they are wondering why. For this vegetarian, because these fish are algivore, why I'm fighting against the algae, whereas in theory I should try to push up the algae, grow for them to grab them directly on the, this is a natural behavior. But no, I prefer to just feed them properly, like you can see. If you are wondering, 3 algae from tropical, this one is super forte from tropical as well, and this one, in fact, this is slightly to bring a little bit protein to them without disturbing so much the digestive system that they do have, a little bit specialized and sensitive. If you bring too much animal protein, and then you will get some issue. Right now, as you can see, they are healthy, swimming in all the direction, and this is torpedo behavior normal for Tropheus. If you know this fish, you know what I'm talking about. This is really enjoyable, and this is why I have a ton dedicated to this genius. So, by the way, back to the ozone reactor. I will share in the description, I will put in one of the web page of my website the montage procedure. It's not expensive at all. You can grab all the pieces. This is like a Lego. You build it following these directions that we share with you, and you will get this result. Interestingly, or let's say the UV sterilizer from Evolution Aqua. This brand used to make the UV sterilizer for pond, for koi. And in fact, they do have a very small model, and this is perfectly fitting to your tank if it's more than 400 liters, for example. This is one of the UV sterilizer you can pick. I already tested EIM, JBL, and Aquamedic sterilizer because I really like this brand one more time. But at the end, this one is more efficient, I would say, and also easier to adapt about the connecting here, tubing, and here you see typically you have way more option in a simpler way. Don't take the pond version, go to the freshwater, the aquarium webpage and find the proper reference to get it. Just to why I'm pushing this one more than the other one, because in fact in terms of tubing here you could build it in a very good way and have this flow, first ozone, after that UV, in the best way. Any other combination of the ozone horizontal or the UV vertical, for example, won't be as efficient as it is right now in front of you. And I guess you can already understand why in terms of flow and time spent from the air, for example, loaded in ozone in contact with the UV. So by the way, this is all for today. I guess I will share in the next weeks the result, and we will hopefully be able to see two tanks quite like blue like this. Here this is a little bit more green, the effect in the glass, and this is really blue, like ozone can help you to get in your tank. So that's all for today, guys. Hope everything is going fine at your place. Ciao.